boy, have we pulled some today. It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. We are live coast to coast, border to border, nation to nation. We are internationally live at JiggyJaguar.com. Thanks for tuning in to the big broadcast from the KJAG Radio Studios in Nashville, Kansas. We're live 2 Central, 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard, and of course, 24/7 at JiggyJaguar.com. TuneIn apps, Radio Loyalty, on-demand podcasts are available via iHeartRadio. Supersonic website is JiggyJaguar.com. And we are live coast to coast, border to border, on 50-plus AM FM stations across the country and around the world. And we are going to go to Mr. Josh Bernstein. He is going to join us live here on our program. And I guess I ought to have that up doing that thing too. I better have that up thing doing that thing too. I don't know what that even means. But I do know what this means. We are live here on our big program, coast to coast and border to border, and we're going to be chatting with Josh Bernstein here in just a few moments. And Josh has got a lot of news and a lot of different things going on. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, actually. We had Rick Gates on earlier to give us an update on the Trump campaign, and he said Donald Trump is not conceding. So if you're thinking that's going to happen, it's not. So no, I was glad to hear that.
No, and nor should he. I mean, clearly this election was stolen. There's tons and tons of voter fraud. But here's the thing. Don't worry about Dominion and Seidel and Smartmatic and proving all the voter fraud, which obviously is very easy to do. It doesn't matter. All you have to do if you're the Trump campaign is go to the Supreme Court with a very, narrow, focused argument. And that argument to the Supreme Court would be this. Did this happen or not? Was the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution violated when GOP observers and vote challengers were thrown out of being able to do their constitutional duty during the election in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia? What is the answer to that question? Even Sotomayor, and Elena Kagan, even those three would have to agree because there's audio proof and there's visual proof of that happening. And not to mention the hundreds, if not thousands, of affidavits of sworn testimony under penalty of perjury that happened as well. So I honestly think it should be a 9-0 decision. I don't know why the Supreme Court has not taken this up yet. I certainly believe it would be a 6-3 or 5-4 decision in favor of President Trump. You don't have to worry about anything else other than the fact of proving without a shadow of a doubt that the Equal Protection Clause was violated, which it clearly was.
We've got Josh Bernstein with us today. Of course, Josh has his brand new website. How's the website doing, my friend? Give us some details on what's going on at the website.
Well, we're up to about 570 subscribers.
Wow.
Which is pretty good considering that in 2.5 years on Patreon, my max was about 550 subscribers. So I'm already over that in about
congratulations.
7 weeks, 7.5, 8 weeks. So I appreciate folks finding me again and subscribing to the website, which again is joshbernsteinuncensored.com. If it's banned on social media, you'll find it on the website. I have been covering lots of things that social media is not going anywhere near. They're not touching it. Recently, I did a story that 1 month, actually less than 1 month, on my son's birthday to be exact, October 8th, the parent company to Dominion Voting Machines is a company called Staples. I have it written down here. It's called Staples something.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking
You've heard about this,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Actually,
I've heard
here, I'll
about
give you the
these
exact
folks.
one because I have it right here.
Yeah, I've heard about
it
these
was
folks.
called, because I want to be right, Staple Street Capital.
Yes.
Now, what Staple Street Capital did was, they're the parent company for Dominion. They did an offering for $400 million
Wow.
to UBS Securities. Now, when you hear UBS Securities, you automatically think United Bank of Scotland, right? Or Switzerland, whatever it is, that company, right? That's been around a very, very long time. Well, guess what? They are pretty much Chinese owned. And here's how it breaks down.
Wow.
That company that owns now Dominion is a Chinese bought and paid for company that owns 25% of that. But there's more. You have Beijing Guanxing, which is 33%. That's a state-owned assets management company. You have Guangdong Holdings, which is a state-owned and located near the South China Sea, where they're building up military islands in the South China Sea. Yep. They own 14%. You have China Guadin, which is one of the largest state-owned energy companies in China. They own 14%. And then you have COFCO, C-O-F-C-O Group, or the Chinese Oil and Food Corporation. This is a state-owned food processing and manufacturing company that has been around since 1949. They also own 14%, add the 25%, and now you know that the company that purchased Dominion was able to buy the election through the Dominion voting machines,
Holy
thereby
smokes.
owning, what's his name, Dementia Joe.
Something else that I want to get your thoughts on, Josh, and it's right up there in the wheelhouse with Dementia Joe. Right before the election, there was all sorts of people. There was progressive media, there was corporate media, there was all these people that were like, we've got to elect Joe Biden. If we don't elect Joe Biden, it's the end of the republic. All these things. And the minute that they've done all these things and Biden has started to name all these people for his cabinet, which he'll look really strange.
His imaginary cabinet.
I know. That's what I was getting ready to say. It's going to look really strange if this is proven and Trump wins. He's got to call all those people back and say, you don't have jobs. But, but the thing is, the progressives are madder than hell that he's not naming more progressives to his cabinet. What did they think was going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. Look, here's what I'll say. Right now, the media could be in a very, very, very bad position. They're already fake news, and they're already in a bad position as it is, because there are at least 75, 76, 77, 78 million Americans that know that they're fake news. Yes. However, there's another 55, 60, 65 million people that don't know they're fake news. Well, guess what? If and when this is turned over and President Trump is declared the winner, it's going to be such a shock to people that don't pay attention to the news, and they only watch ABC, NBC, CBS, MSLSD, and the Communist News Network. Because what's going to happen is they're going to be like, well, wait a minute. We thought the other guy won. How come no one has reported this? How come I watch CNN and they don't talk about this stuff? That's going to be a very bad situation. Never mind the Project Veritas tapes that are coming out proving the fake news moniker from years ago that President Trump has given to them, which clearly show that they weren't going to cover the Hunter Biden story because they didn't want to hurt Dementia Joe and heads up, heels up Harris. So the bottom line is that there's going to be a major disconnect in the country if and when this happens. Now, I still believe that the Supreme Court is the easiest and the best way to go. I'm very nervous about the state legislatures. I was down in Arizona and I did a speech outside, wasn't able to get in because of their Kung flu,
all the
whatever,
craziness,
protocols. But the bottom line here is that the Pennsylvania legislature absolutely, in my opinion, seem like they may actually do the right thing here and do the electors towards President Trump. In Pennsylvania with Doug Mastriano, the same thing. I feel pretty confident there. But let me tell you about the weasels, okay, the eunuchs that I saw in Michigan, from McBroom, who needs a broom to get him the hell out of his spot in the Senate in Michigan, and this other putz who looked like he was more interested in eating his lunch than talking about real voter fraud, Matt Hall. These people are pathetic, disgusting, disgraceful excuses for Republicans. And I can almost guarantee you that these sackless wonders that listen to all of those people are absolutely, without a doubt, going to certify the election in Michigan for Dementia Joe and Heels Up Headboard Harris. There's no question
I
in
love
my
that
mind
gimmick.
that they're going to do that. Now, in the end, that might not mean anything because we still have Georgia, we still have Nevada, and we still have Wisconsin. And they're going to be doing their own hearings. But it's very important to watch these hearings, and not necessarily for the witnesses.
According to Skype, I have a poor connection. It'll fix itself. Or I'll call Josh back. Gotta love Skype. We're gonna try this again. He got too fired up. That was the thing. You got too fired up, and Skype.
I'm assuming
Skype,
you're having the NSA as one of your sponsors. What's going on here?
Well, I'll tell you. You know what is funny is about was it a month and a half ago? I went in to check our website stats, and U.S. government was the number one group who peruses the website. But go ahead, my friend. You were getting fired up there. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that I'm worried about Michigan in particular. But again, you still have Nevada, you still have Georgia, and you still have Wisconsin yet to come as far as having legislative sessions and hearings. And so we'll have to see. But I was saying it's very important to watch all of these hearings, not necessarily for the fraud and for the witnesses. We already know what they're going to say for the most part. You want to see the reaction from the people that are going to be making the ultimate decision if it comes down to the state legislatures. And that's important. And I was absolutely disgusted with Michigan in particular. And I hope that they get a chance to see this, because every single one of those idiots should be primaried and thrown out. Even if they shock me and do the right thing, they still do not have what it takes to be legislatures.
Well, as we wrap up here, Josh, tell us about two things. I want to get an update on AMAC, and I also want you to tell us about the website. So we'll start with AMAC. Give us an update on what they've been doing.
Well, AMAC's been fighting each and every day to make sure that seniors have, much more say and freedom in their choices of healthcare decisions. AMAC is an extremely important organization right now because obviously with the left wanting to take Obamacare on steroids and turn it into Medicare for all, that's a very dangerous proposition for everybody's health care. So AMAC is an organization that is fighting against that. They are working with Congress. They are working with other lobbying groups, raising money, doing whatever we can to fight against that. And by the way, they are similar to AARP in their products and services. They just believe in seniors and making sure that they put America first rather than bureaucrats and lobbyists and Democrats and all the other things that AARP does. So check them out at amac.us, amac.us, or call them toll free at 888-262-2006, 888-262-2006. Tell them you heard about AMAC on the Jiggy Jaguar program, and they'll even give you a free one-year introductory membership, no strings attached, just for mentioning the Jiggy Jaguar program. As far as me and the website, go to joshbernsteinuncensored.com. Again, joshbernsteinuncensored.com. Remember, my new tagline is, if it's banned on social media, you'll find it on the website. And just to give you an idea of what's coming, there's an organization out there that's called the Carlyle Group. And maybe people don't know what the Carlyle Group is. According to their Wikipedia, they're an American multinational private equity asset management and financial services corporation founded in 1987, and is the world's second largest private equity firm. But what the public doesn't realize is that this firm in particular is a major powerhouse of influence and capital to fund a one world government.
Wow.
And they are in bed with some of the worst actors in the deep state, former political leaders, many lobbyist groups, international banksters, as I call them. And so I'm doing a full expose in the next couple of days on them. And in particular, one of the people that they've worked with for years is a billionaire, maybe trillionaire by now, probably a trillionaire. His name is Neil Chen. Neil Chen is one of the wealthiest investors China has ever seen, including everywhere in the world, even Alibaba. Born into a wealthy, well-connected family, he went to Mao Zedong's alma mater, Shanghai University. After graduating in 1989, he set sail for America, where he went to Columbia University, then on to Yale, no doubt on some type of special visa or a Confucius Institute program. He then took a job with Citibank, Lehman Brothers, and eventually took over Deutsche Bank in Hong Kong. Neil Chen is now the founder of Sequoia Capital, which owns Dominion voting machines, or did at one time. Now they don't. Now they've been sold off. Chen's companies now have ties financially to some of the world's largest companies such as Apple, Google, Oracle, NVIDIA, GitHub, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Yahoo, Snapchat, WhatsApp, and many more. In fact, the combined current public market value of all of the companies that are under Sequoia Capital is $1.4 trillion, which is the equivalent of 22% of the stock market.
Amazing.
I just gave you a preview of what's coming.
Well, Josh, I appreciate the time, and I will talk to you next week, my friend. Thank you.
Well, you're having connection issues today, aren't you?
Yes, we are. I thank Josh Bernstein, and we will get this video over to him. Check out joshbernsteinuncensored.com, and we will talk to him later. We're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, we have got more on the other side here on our big program.